Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, practicing meditation is one of the best investment that you can do to your life, because untrained mind, untamed mind is one of the most dangerous things to yourself and to the world. So train yourself, and it will help to be comfortable yourself, and it change the deeper inside your behavior. And when you able to train your mind, this training is kind of not like you kind of like brainwash. It's not kind of like you make it the way you want. You allow your mind to get into its natural form. So that is the important thing you have to understand. So practicing meditation is not kind of like you making your mind to a different form. You allow your mind to go to its natural one. So when it comes to human life, as a human being, the best that you can do is investing your life to train, that uplift your awareness. So then maybe you are spending your time to yourself, your personal life, your husband, your wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, for your properties, for many things. But at the same time, remember that everything become very limited. And by the time you have to let go that all. But still the condition of the mind, you're going to carry, and all with this, all the activities, the very nature, the very behavior of mind, and going to be with you, and it become more stronger, stronger, stronger. So then if you able to practice yourself, it will help you to transform your mind to different level, to its own natural form. When it come to its natural form, what is happening? So in that level, the important thing is perceptions. So the perceptions is the most important thing when it comes to conventional life. Whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, because the reactions happen according to the condition of your inside mind. So then when you practice the meditation, all the perceptions, and in that very level, you're going to see very clearly. And whatever the things come to you, in that very moment, you recognize it without any mistake. But if the condition of your mind is not clear, so whatever come to us, sometimes we get it in a wrong way. Another thing is, even though there are a lot of things in that in our life, in day to day, that we accumulate a lot of perceptions in without any attention. Watching movies, listening to music, or listening to others, or see that smelling, or even eating things, even that ourselves associating with other people, and proliferation. So these things, this happening, thinking ourselves. So this all sometimes accelerate that the busyness, that the darkness or the unclarity in our mind. So the meditation is the tool that can bring the balance to yourself and clean that everything. It's like when the sun rise, that all are the little lights, that all everything become dim and all the darkness disappear. So like that, when it come to mind is the most important thing that you have. So then yourself, the most important part you have to develop in your life is your mind. The way for that is the meditation. So that's why we try to keep practice little by little, little by little. At least every day, if you sit for a few minutes, that it's going to help. So then remember that whatever you do and slowly try to get into. So in the very first level, what we're trying to do, we're trying to make our mind usable through this tranquility meditation. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, we're trying to bring our mind to one pointness and just keep it in one point without going here and there. That one point is in the present moment. And even it is not the solid, it's always following inhalation, exhalation, and recognizing and go with it without getting to past or the future. So if you are able to remain that way again and again, again and again, knowingly that you are observing this, what happened little by little, little by little, your mind going to become more relaxed and calm and settle down like water. So once the mind become calm, relaxed and settle down and transform to certain level, and once the mind tame, and you can use that mind. For what? To use the mind to see the mind itself. So in a tranquility state, so in meditation, so in tranquility state, we go step by step, step by step. So in the beginning, we go with the inhalation, exhalation. Knowingly, this is inhalation, this is exhalation. And then knowingly, this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is then follow the entire continuation. And sometimes inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So you just accept it. And this is maybe not going to happen according to the order. But sometimes you may experience that. If you experience it, just go with it. Don't try to change anything. If you don't experience that anything, whatever you experience in that very moment, be very clear with it. And once the mind settles down, without getting disturbed, so without that going here and there, and that is once it get into this tranquility state, from there, that our purpose is not just find the calmness and stay in that calmness. We're trying to go in more deeper and develop the awareness and understand that how things come to be as they are. So for that, our main purpose is getting to self-realization. Actually, when we use the word called meditation, the word, all this everything, all these tools we can use only for tranquility state. When it comes to vipassana, it is completely different method. So you cannot even use the word called meditation because it is completely different method. But in this conventional way, in this conversation, to have something to communicate, we have to use that word. Because in the vipassana level, what we does, we drop that all the details that we used to observe as information, whatever the mental notes that you got through inhalation, exhalation, we drop that all. Because now we try getting to observe the mind itself. Because when the inhalation, exhalation happens, we go with the 5 aggregates. And in the very first thing, recognizing inhalation, exhalation, and the pain. So when the inhalation happen, exhalation happen, there is a pain arise. And just observe it and see when the inhalation happen, how you recognize it as inhalation. When the exhalation happen, how you recognize it as exhalation. And go with it. And don't try to settle down there. And go deeper and observe, experience it, and see what you experience. And even that experience will change moment by moment, and get into that. That is one of the highest to experience yourself. You know the change, and you're not going to settle down with it, and you go with the change, and then that is where you become formless. So you become formless and you become nameless. And that is where your heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, this all the 4 elements, and releasing from you. Why? Because everything held by the mind. So once you recognize this change inside, and you see the experiencer also moment by moment change, everything head to toes. Everything head to toes, and everything from form to consciousness. That everything change. And there is nothing in the middle going to remain the same, or there is nothing, any space that you find that can find a place to be settled down. So that is a moment that you experience yourself. What is this moment of living? That is it. It is there. That you're not going to get any knowledge from outside. So what is you going to find? The really deeply what is happening. You slowly get into that truth. That is the vipassana. It is within you. So then yourself give your best to go and settle down with it. And that is the most comfortable place for you. Even though you find the comfort around this, with the relationships, with the environment, with the house, place, with your the place you sit, that is not the place to be comfortable yourself. This is only for a very limited time. And that's why time to time, even your posture, you change knowingly or unknowingly. But this is not like that. This comfort that you gain, that the security that you gain deeply, and that is the best place that you can settle down as home, within your own deeper inside your consciousness, with your own awareness. So it is not just a place to settle down, it is a moment to understand and experience. In that moment, that no fear arises in you regarding anything in your mind. So the most dangerous things, the most dangerous fear is the fear itself. But when you develop your mind, when you come to the tranquility state, and when you go deeply and settle down with this all the change, in that very moment, there is no fear in you. When your mind come out of the fear, then in that very place you feel more comfort and relax. In that comfort, you feel more the joy and tranquility state in your mind. In that joy, that pleasure, and you go more deeper, and you get into the detachment of your own the feelings. get out of your own feelings yourself is the most difficult, most advanced challenge that you can have. But in vipassana level, that is what happening. And head to toes, each and every cell moving around emotions, energy. That's the called energy in motion, emotions. That is give power to live and reproduct your all the cells moment by moment, moment by moment. But when it comes to vipassana level, what is happening? The anymore that you are not going around the emotions, you completely settle down. That is the moment you completely get into neutral moment of your entire nerve system. And that is the moment you get connect to entire universe, because otherwise the desire always take your body towards something, and body doesn't have moment to settle down and experience. But in the deeper level, in the vipassana, when you go with the 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 change and recognizing the change, and when the fear come out and this entire system get out of becoming nature and settle down itself, because there is no desire to become, there is no resistance. That is one of the most comfortable place that you can settle down, even 1 minute if you experience that. And from that point you never go down, always you remain in that or go higher. So it is a practice moment by moment, moment by moment. Only thing is just put value on your practice knowingly that practicing with mind is the most important part in your life. So with that, we're going to a little bit practice now. So settle down yourself and keep relax your body and be comfortable with your posture. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable yourself. And bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes, please. Three times and say Swapateva. Oh, may I be well and happy. Three times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And slowly bring your attention to the sensation and follow the sensation. So in the beginning, recognize inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. And follow the entire continuation of inhalation exercise. And some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So whatever you say, just accept it. Let go all the details with the inhalation, exhalation. Just settle down with the feelings that you gain, followed by the inhalation, exhalation. And observe and moment by moment and see how things change within yourself. Bring your attention to your body and observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through your compound, village, city, state, country, around this world and around this universe. And as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding ourselves like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion, beginning from your heart. Visualize yourself and send it as a light as far as you can forward to your backside, to your left side, to your right side. Downward to upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, so during this time period yourself, the most important thing is transform your mind to a better place. Always remember that. And no matter what, and it doesn't matter what it costs. And if you have opportunity for that, go for it. Because it's worth for you. And you are finally going to be comfortable, and you're going to find the peace, happiness, and tranquility state within yourself. When you come to that point, you're going to transform yourself, and all the perception come out of this bodily, verbally, and mentally action, that whatever the your reactions happening according to the perception going to become more comfortable for you, and that going to become more comfortable for others. So then don't hesitate yourself. Don't hold into yourself. When there is opportunity for you to transform, remember that is the best that you can get. So invest your time, invest your life for that little bit. That's why practicing meditation is important. Why? Because sometimes the life that we experience, even though for the moment that we feel it is more comfortable, safe, and sometimes we don't know underneath and what this is. We have no idea, even regarding our body, even regarding the time, even regarding the environment, even regarding our own past, or even regarding our own future. We have no idea what this is. We are just go with the the moment that whatever the desires arise. Even we don't know that from where the desires come, what the final result going to be. But when you develop this mental clarity inside you, and that going to bring a moment to yourself to find the peace and tranquility state, and no matter what an uncertainty unfold around us, but still you're going to be safe. So that's the very nature of this world. That is the very nature of the mind. So that's why little by little we're trying to teach this method, even this 2,600 years. And there are thousands people transform their mind and found that peace and happiness. This is not for arguments. This is not for debates. This is not for show off. This is not for any kind of to bring identity. This is just to find your own peace. That is it. So if you become peaceful, how beautiful it is. How about when it comes to known, unknown, this all the people, even why? Because when the people become peaceful, that environment itself going to become safe. You no need any other summit for global warming. When the human mind become cool, if the human mind becomes so fire up, and maybe it doesn't matter you holding all this all the global warming summit and anything, it never going to fix anything. So even ourselves around us, that the environment, whatever the other people go through, so everybody having a difficult time, so everybody have their own difficulties deeply in their heart. So if you don't find your peace, what's happening? You adding more difficulties to other people. It is unnecessary. So at least if you find your own peace, each and everybody has your own responsibility. If everybody start to do that, that everybody don't get disturbed out of others. And that create a kind of a space to become peace and calm and relax. So that is something that you have to do every day. It is just not for a moment. So that's why the meditation, the meditation that you do for a moment, it's going to affect for your mind. And once it affect for your mind, it's going to affect for your life. And it's in another way, it's like, when, as you know, that from childhood, when elders abuse children, it damages their brain. It is invisible, you cannot see it. And even when that the sometimes situations happen, whatever the accident happened, fell down or hit the head, or situations happen, and then it damages the brain, invisible. So then what is happening later, through their actions, bodily, verbally, mentally actions, that damage start to go with their whole life. And sometimes if you, as a husband, wife, children, if you abuse the other person, and because of that mental pain, and other person's behavior going to become different, and you know that. So see that it is invisible, you cannot see it. Even that childhood time, if somebody didn't get the enough love from the parents, sometimes that character, even when they become younger elders, and maybe they get a higher place in the society, but still that the love that they didn't get, going to affect in a different way. So like that, this mind is kind of like a chaos. It is very difficult to find and fix in a proper way. But the if you look a little bit, the meditation can heal this all. And also the effect that you get out of the meditation in a positive way, that all other things happen in the negative way. You get into wrong relationships, or maybe you, as a child, you abused by others, or the maybe incident happened in the past. So whatever happened, that's a negative effect. But this kind of practice bring a positive effect for your life. Even 5 minutes meditation, sometimes it help you to transform your whole life to different kind of level. So that's why you have to just little by invest your life. And even you don't know tomorrow what going to happen to you. Maybe there's no one around you to help yourself. But if you able to develop your mind, at least the method yourself, even in this sansaric journey, you're never going to have any difficulty. So whatever the situation come to you, you're going to be okay. It is for you, it is not for anybody. That is the Buddha's teaching. It's nothing to do with the Buddha, it's nothing to do with the monks, it's nothing to do with the temples. No, it's nothing to do. You see, there's a pagoda. You have seen pagodas. It's people go and watch. Even for a rain, you cannot go into it. Even for the sun, you cannot go into it. But it's giving you guidance for yourself to, it's a mental object for you to follow the path. It's not to maintain anything like that. Temple the same. When we look at this, the history, look how beautiful big temples used to be. What the point? That everything disappeared today. And the big Buddha statues that you saw, even on the YouTube, still you can see how the terrorists blow that out. So it go away like that. This all the material things go away. But that is not the Buddha's main purpose. The peace that you gain to your heart, no one can take it. And that is the most beautiful thing as a human that you can experience. You have seen many beautiful things. Even that you collect that all the beauty that you have seen, or even that all the beauty exists around this world with the nature, with the animals and with this outside. You get it to one place and you put it to blend it and make a kind of like a, little tiny, pill. That when you, then that pill, that entire this universal happiness with this outside, but it's still the peace that you gain within, settling down yourself is more powerful than that. So that's why, you have a family, you enjoy the life, you see this everything around you. By the time you have seen and how things change, so whatever you become today, you become happy, and tomorrow you're going to be sad, sometimes worry. You have seen it, you experience it. So then it is yourself, you know. So then that why we talk like this, because we are experiencing peace ourselves like that. Then when we experience that peace, what we think, oh, if anybody else, get this, how beautiful it. That is the only reason that we come like this and try to share it. Why? Because there are a lot of people unnecessarily become unhappy. You don't need to become like that, because there is another way that you can find that peace, and you can have that everything, and at the same time you can have that the wisdom and the peace, tranquility state within yourself, and go until you attain to nibbana. Even it is not only for this moment. So that's why somehow during this time period, getting to the very clear understanding, at least the tranquility state, samatha level of state, and getting to the practice and know the technique very properly, and then keep practice yourself. And wherever you go, you're going to be okay. Why? Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and where we'll be in our life and how things going to happen. We don't know. So I'm going to tell you a story for that. During this, one of the beautiful story. Why I say stories sometimes? Because sometimes through the teachings, through the details, this is one, this is two, sometimes it is difficult. There are sometimes stories, it help you to transform. And it's inspired you, it's inspire you, it help you to, to see the path very clearly. You get the essence sometimes, through the lectures, talk, Dhamma talks, or, discussion, very difficult, but little story can help you to transform. So that's why sometimes we bring stories. So during Buddha's time, there was a nun called Uppalavanna. So she was the among the nuns, she was the most highest advanced nun that who can perform the mental powers. And all the community of Sangha, during around the monks, the venerable, that the Mugalan. So the most venerable, the Mugalan, was the highest level of that skill had to perform the high mental powers. So among the nuns, the Uppalavanna Therani, the nun Uppalavanna was the nun who able to perform this all the high mental powers, the miracles. So how the story happened? She was so beautiful. She was kind of like the born beauty queen. It's not kind of like a makeup beauty queen, that she's inherent, the beauty inherent in her. She is so beautiful. And sometimes when she used to go to market, the people and stop and just looking, the open the eyes to the maximum and looking, that much is beautiful. So what happened by the time, and she was like time to get married, like 16 years old. So during that time, when the girl becomes 16 years, 18 years old, they get married. like Prince Siddhartha. So somehow she was time to get married, and she was so proud regarding her beauty. It is reasonable, and she should be. And also, so then her parents also used to look for the right person. And there was a very wealthy family and only one son. And then everybody agreed to get married. So the wedding happened with the boy in that family. And the very next day, what happened? Far away in another place, there was a war. So then the king declared the war and called for all the young people to come to go to the war. So still any country is still the same sometimes. And so during that time, so the king ruled the country, and then the king's order, and everybody need to accept. So then what happened? The very next day after they got married, this young wealthy man went to war, and she was alone with her father-in-law and the mother-in-law. So what happened? Within few days, they recognize this Uppalavanna is pregnant. And then the grandmother, the mother-in-law and the father-in-law start to think she having an affair with somebody else. This child, the baby in her womb is not belong to their son. And she had the argument, they had the argument and the fight. And then what happened? Finally, and they start to give a hard time for her, and then they send her out of the house. Now the baby in the mother's womb, and she cannot go back to her parents, and she was thinking, because she was so proud about her beauty, and all the village people knew about her, and then it is not good for her parents, and she thought, no, I don't want to go back to my parents. Somehow I just want to go and find my husband. And she start to walk. And by the time what happened on the way, see the child born. Now day by day, months by months. So this holding this child, and she used to travel. Then one day, this child is still little baby, and she used to came to a place. And in that day, in Eastern countries, at that time there were places at night you can just sleep. It called Ambalama. So it's a common place for everybody. Whoever want to rest at night or daytime, they can go. No any gates. It's open just only for walls with the gates from four sides. And it's kind of like a pre-motel. You just stay there and you have all the facilities. So somehow she found this place and slept there with the baby. By the morning, she and no one was around her, and so by the morning what she did, she left the baby in a corner and then went to restroom to do her cleaning. So by the time, because she was planning to have a long journey, so she took little time there. And after long journey, she had this facility, so she was washing herself. And then by the time, there was another man came to this place and saw this little baby, and no one was around her, around that place. And he was thinking about having a little baby, and that he thought, oh, this is a kind of like a gift from the God, because no one around this place, and I was waiting, looking for a child. Oh, see here, this is a beautiful child. And he took the child and went. And she came back, she couldn't find the child. Now what to do? And she was crying, weeping, and lamenting, and going here and there like a very crazy, mad woman. She couldn't find the boy. And then what to do? Then she started to walk. And then she came to another city. In that city, that there was another man saw this, his wealthy man saw this woman. And he saw the beauty of this woman. Even though she looked like, crazy, but like homeless, but still that in the inherent beauty was with her. So he saw that this beautiful woman, and she got married. Even though in the daytime he is so nice person, and he is a kind of like you name it, he is a very the gentleman daytime, but at night he's a demon. He beat her. He giving hard time to this woman. The daytime, it's like in front of others, he's wearing, the nice clothes and go here and there. And so it's very calm, and no one believe he having like that character. It's a psycho. So there are the people like that today also. It is just not only the men. There are some women, and they look like beauty queens in the daytime, but suddenly they go crazy. The people, the men, the same. There are some people. So then you have to educate yourself, especially children, when they get into relationships. Just by looking this outside, you should not, get into people and relationships. And sometimes when people get high, they have some kind of brain, damage or things, and they go crazy. And I have seen there are a lot of sometimes devotees come and ask help to escape from that, because the person that you see is not the person inside. So then the same thing happened to this Uppalavanna. Look, 2600 years ago. And then what happened? Somehow she used to live with this person, and then by the time she got again pregnant, and then she got a baby girl. And but this person used to beat her so badly. The one day what happened, he was beating to this woman, and then that day the fight happened. So during that time, this little baby girl and getting to the middle of this fight, and then she hit her head somewhere and got damaged, and the blood came, and then the Uppalavanna knew this situation going to become so bad, and he started to beat her so badly, and that day she ran out of the house. Even she couldn't get the little girl. And then she ran and she thought, oh, my baby, so whatever. But she left her there and she ran away. Because this guy was trying to kill that. No, there are some countries that you see, if the husband beat the wife, if you go to police, they don't take a report even. There are some countries, it still exist in the world. There are some countries, even though we say this loving kindness, compassion, and the human rights and that things, and if the woman is more beautiful, if the husband don't like that beauty, and then even they can put the acid on her and burn, and no one can, argue about it. That it's kind of like that you own property, that you can do whatever to the woman. So it still exists in the world. Look, it's 2020, and we talk about all the human rights and the nature and the beauty, dharma, compassion, everything. But still, there are countries like that. So somehow she escaped from that. Now, the first time the boy she lost, And now the girl, she lost and she went away. So then she start to become kind of like a homeless woman, go stay the place to place, place to place, village to village, village to village. So the time passed by, days, weeks, months, years. Now almost she became kind of like 45, 50 years old. So she go to certain places and do some cleaning and things like that and work and find something for the day, and she used to live. And then she went to another city. In that city, there was a young boy, like 18 years old. Young boy saw this woman. And he saw the beauty that inherent, even though that she's 50 years old woman, but still she's look like very pretty. And so then this boy fall in love with that woman. And he went to home and told to his father, oh, I saw a woman and I want to get married. And the father asked information and told, oh, this is too old for you. But this boy told, no, I want to get married to this woman. So what happened? And he was a kind of like, he had a lot of money. And then this woman was helpless and just going here and there. And she was thinking, oh, this is a very good opportunity for me. Why? Because I am little old now. I need a place to stay. And if my husband young, and then it is good for me also. There are people think like that. And then what happened? They got married. Now this 50 years old woman and 18 years old husband. So what happened? Within few days, the husband knew this is, it's good, and he had the attachment to woman, and he didn't give any hard time, and he was so nice to the woman. But still, when they go out, sometimes people ask question, oh, is this your wife? Oh, it's look like your mother. So like that, then he don't want to hear that. Then what happened? He went to another city and brought another girl, 16 years old girl. So now the story start. So this is the background. So listen to how the life happened. So then what happened? Now 18 years old husband, 50 years old wife, and then another wife, 16 years old. So one day, this Uppalavanna, that means 50 years old, this wife, and that 16 years old, this young wife, they had a conversation, and then the is kind of like a mother and daughter. So then the Uppalavanna, the 50 years old wife, and put some oil on this 16 years old young new wife. And then she saw there was a kind of like that the damage on her head. So then she was applying the oil and asked, what happened to your head? Then she started to tell, oh, my father used to be like this. One day there was a fight happened, and that day my mother left me and I got damaged. And then she started to tell the story. But Uppalavanna was hearing and got all the details and knew this is her own daughter. But she didn't tell anything. But inside her, now she was thinking and was so unhappy and crying herself, hiding and crying. And then her husband, that 18 years old husband, father, and he saw this and came and asked, oh, sister, why are you crying? Oh, no, because the life is so miserable, uncertain. And then she started to tell, this life is so dangerous. We don't know what's happening around us. We don't know who we are really. And then he told, oh, I totally agree with you. You know how I found my son? Because the Uppalavanna married to his son. And then he told, you know how I found this, my son? It is not really my own son. One day I went to market, and on the way, I saw this little boy left on that place, and he told the story. And then she knew that she married to this 18 years old boy, mean it's her own son. See that she married to her own son, and not only that, her daughter married to her own son. That's mean the brother from the same mother but different fathers. And she ran to the temple, and she didn't even look here and there. She didn't took any single moment to stop on the way. One breath ran to the temple and fell down in front of the Buddha and worshipped and touching Buddha's feet and told, "Oh, Venerable Sir, please accept me and give me the nunhood." And the Buddha and gave the nunhood, and she became a nun. And she then started to practice herself, and she became the most powerful that around during the nuns and around all that nuns. And she was the most highest, the advanced that nun that can show the mental, the miracles or the mental powers. And she look that we tangle to this, the environment, nature, relationships, and that things, but it is still uncertain, and this everything change, and even we don't know tomorrow what kind of things going to happen to us, and even we don't know who we are around us. We really don't know. We know only for a certain amount of information. That's it. We don't know who we are, and we don't know who they are. So don't put too much value on other people. Even don't put too much value on your own beauty, your own skills, and your own wealth, or who you, whatever the the personal things within yourself. But remember, only the place that you can find the peace, and only the place that you can find the safety is developing your mind. See that kind of woman, how she became equal to, during, as you know, even around the world today, it's not even, equal gender, the facilities we have, but only the place you're going to get it when you develop your mind. So when you attain to enlightenment, it doesn't matter. You break down this all the the gender, the economy, the social barriers, and everything. Only the place that you can find the equal facilities attaining to enlightenment. There is no any other place. So then yourself, no matter, it doesn't matter you are a man or you are a woman, or you have this or that like that. Remember, because maybe today you have, tomorrow it's completely something else. So you have it, you appreciate it, you take care it, you have certain responsibilities, and you do that things, but still keep the first priority yourself to develop your mind, to get into a higher place, because that is the only the place that you can be safe. So with that, I bless upon to everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbidyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinazatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava ittavata ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu Sabba sampatti siddhya idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.